Trying to earn $1 billion in Farming Simulator. This is episode number 7 on season 2. So far we've got $368,000. We have $200,000 in a loan because we spent $400,000 building those 2 wind turbines and another solar panel. We've got this entire field all planted with grass, ready for us to get some grass bales going off of the next spring year. And we will of course be using that grass along for our our sheep and other livestock that we're going to build out, because we're going to be focusing more so on animals on our personal farm and then doing field work through contracts. It's the last day of October and it is snowing on us here just a little bit, so I thought I would just drive out and double check our field. Everything looks like it is planted and doing good. We have a hired worker down earning us some money on the plowing gigs that we've been doing for the last 10.5 years, but we've made a lot of money doing that. So far in October, we've actually made over $40,000 just by doing these contracts, and we've spent $10,000 or so in labor on that as well. So call it about 30-some thousand before any other sort of expense, but there's not really much of anything else. There's no inputs other than maybe fuel, and we haven't put any fuel in, so. Alrighty, but we're down at the McCormick tractor that we own. We've put, how many hours? Oh, we got 11.5 hours on this bad boy. Whew! We bought her brand new. Yeah, the hours, they count up fast. But we really have been using this mostly for our own farm work. We did 1 contract with it, maybe 2 max. Well, no, we did some spraying contracts. I'm going to go ahead and fill some of this up more. We're not going to get the whole bag because that is a pretty new bag. We're going to have to come pick it up at some point. But I just want to use this tool here to at least carry this tank over to our farm, so we have a tank of seeds sitting around. Whoa, oopsies. Good thing we're returning this in. So now that we have all of that taken care of, we freed our tractor up to be useful. Let's figure out if there's something we can do. Part of me would like to get focused on our sheep here, but I want to recoup some of our investments we've made before we move forward on that. I don't really fancy doing those contracts, I'm gonna be honest with you. I'd almost fancy just taking a nappy poo and seeing what the new day brings, if you know what I mean. But tell you what, let me roll down here and we're gonna figure out what we can do. So maybe we can do some planning here. So there's this road that I think we could just send down. I might even just continue it straight. I was thinking about curving it off over, but we could just send it right down, and this could be kind of our farm drive. You know, we could just use that one right there and send gravel right down through this field with a nice grass buffer. That wouldn't be too bad. And then you could kind of get down to this bottom side where we'd build up all of our farmyard, kind of around the pond. Hopefully it doesn't flood. Maybe in the new farm sim that'd be a feature. That'd be cool. One can hope. Let's take a gander. I think we've already looked at this fair enough. We've got 51,97,000. I think I'd probably start here. Where would you even want to put those? So like if that came down, you could just kind of do something with that, maybe like that. I don't know. You got a lot of room down over here. I mean, I don't know. We've got options. We'll figure it out when the time comes. I'm not ready to spend that money yet. And I don't really want to send this tractor out working on contracts, putting hours on it too much more. So we're going to go lease a tractor and equipment to do that other job, because this day is pretty close to being complete and we will be on into November here soon anyways. So we're going to let our tractor sit around while we accept one of these plowing jobs. I think we'll do probably, these tractors are kind of weird, man. Wow. We'll probably do this one. Use this little tractor. I'm sure I'll hate it, but might as well. I'll borrow the items. I took number 24 for myself, which is good because we'll let this guy handle that little field right there when the time comes. But for now, we're going to take this tiny little class. I hear Klaus is actually a pretty decent tractor, so I'm excited to try this thing out. We're going to get hooked up to our plow, and we might just need it's a little tiny bit heavy. We could probably get by, and I probably don't need the weight, but I'm going to go and throw it on there. And by throw it on there, I mean knock it over. Jake, okay. We're going to not use the weight. Let's just get up to the field, shall we? By the way, for those of you who are looking for more videos with Dad and I in Farming Simulator, those will be returning. Don't worry, they're not going to go anywhere. The honest truth is life is just very busy on the farm this time of year. We got a lot of stuff going on, and it's been hard to, when we have sunny days and it ain't raining this right now, we kind of got to be out doing hay. But with that being said, if you want more in real life videos on the farm, then make sure you do stay tuned in and check out my dad's channel because we're going to be posting more. If you want to see the first video on that, you can already check that one out over on his channel as well. By the way, those of you looking for American Truck Simulator, I do want to get back into it. I haven't played it for a little while. I apologize for that. The reason, it's kind of a dumb reason, all right? Don't laugh at me. But the honest reason is last time I went over there to record an American Truck Simulator, I put my helmet, or like, not my helmet, but my headset on. And there was a bug in the headset, and it you know what I mean? And I just can't fathom putting the headset back on. I just can't do it. I can't do it. Every time I try to convince myself to go and record, I just get, I shiver at the thought of putting that headset on now. So, you know, if I ever figure that one out, we'll get back around to it. I apologize. I'm working on it. I'm trying. And I'm here to earn myself a couple $1,000s. Meanwhile, we got a contract completion, so let's go ahead and accept that. That's going to be 74. Collect. We're going to then give them 78. Accept. And I've got this one up here kind of going myself, I guess. But while I hop down and get this next one going, I will hire a worker up here just so we're efficient. I don't know. Right. So 78 is up to 3 fields, the bigger one up there. Not the biggest one, but the bigger one. You know what I mean? Not number 1, not number 2, but it is number 3 right here. This guy. I guess I don't really know that it looks that much bigger than the others, but it is. I promise. And that snow's really starting to come down now. At first it was a nuisance. Now I can't see a darn thing, son. Like a big sky of white fluffies floating down. Making my life living heck, I tell you what. Oh, that's an interesting way to do it, bucko. But you do you. I ain't gonna complain. That's fine. Make sure this one's going. Okay, so this one is going. I can take over mine. Thank you very much for your work and time and consideration, but I can do this, so I'm gonna do it myself for now. And I do think once we complete that little field down there, we can either bring the big one up here, which is probably a good idea because this isn't a very big plow. And after this one, we will be done with plow jobs. I'm not going to take any more plowing gigs. I think we'll have our fair share. We've earned $67,000 so far on contracts, and we've only spent $11,000 in wages. That is money in our pocket. You cannot complain about it, especially when it's majority on these leased equipment. That's a good deal right there. But with this being day 4, and also, I know it's only like 2 p.m., but rounding out the end of our day 4 soon-ish, kind of, we will be resetting the, or checking the, time scale, the ×5. We'll be checking that. I asked you guys in the last episode your opinion on the matter since we had pretty much got our stuff completed here and we'd done it all on ×5, so you kind of got an idea of how long it takes to go through a single month. Asked you if you wanted it to be any faster on the time scale or not. I think it's been good. We've been able to get a lot of good work done, but I can understand if it feels a little slow. I can understand it being a little slow. So if we wanted to speed it up just a hair, we always could. The next one is 6. Maybe 6 would be good to try. Of course, then there's 10, which is double what we're going now, which I think would be too much probably. Maybe, maybe not. Maybe you think 10 would be just right. I'll know by the next episode because that's when I will look at your guys' comments and we will make that change. But speaking about good pace, I'm just going to knock this field out and I'll be right back with y'all here in a little bit. All right, we're done. I know we got a little bit ahead of us and that's probably going to bother some people, but see, we're all done. And that means I'm done with plowing. I'm not doing those other 2. We can get to collect all of our money and get all cashed out here. Collect our money, collect our money, collect our money. $392,000, meaning we made almost $87,000 in contracts, paid almost $12,000 in wages. That is crazy, man. That is a good day right there. That is a really, really good month. Contracts coming in clutch, making us some good money. I think we're honestly good to go ahead and move forward. I've got everything planted, taken care of on our piece. All of our contracts done. let's sleep in through the night and see what November brings. Well, it's still a little dark out, but it'll lighten up. We made a little bit of money overnight, nothing crazy. And as the morning sun crosses over the tree line, let's go ahead and check a few things, see where we're standing so far. We're sitting on about $28,000 worth of stuff right now. Our corn's still going up. Good to see. Glad to see. Let's go ahead and check on some contracts. We got more plowing. Woo! Oh, yeah! Woo! All right. Hey, would you guys be okay if we just go through the winter months? Because frankly, the only thing we can really do is plow, and nothing else is very exciting. So how about we hibernate for the winter? We enjoy our little pumpkins, and I'll just see you guys in the springtime. And if you don't want that, and you want us to actually do the winters, then let me know in the comments down below, okay? But for this one, I'm going to assume that we don't really need to be doing more plowing. So let's just move forward. Yo, gonna intervene a couple times as we're skipping through. It's currently November 3rd. We've got 398,000, closing in on that 400,000. Now, if you guys remember, this is our spraying setup. I really like this. It's very easy on the tractor, but this stuff is worth $22,000 and $4,000 roughly. We can get a little more by taking it to the store. There is one for sale right here. It's a trailer pull behind, but it holds 8,000 liters and it's 27 meters wide. And I'm very tempted to go ahead and pick it up. I'm unsure whether or not the hours really matter that much on the equipment that you pull, aside from their value. And I could be wrong. I don't know. But I like the opportunity of buying this for $33,000. These ones are newer though. Significantly newer. They just hold way less than this. This holds 8,000 liters. I mean, we'd be able to do acres and acres and acres with this thing. I'm unsure what we should do about that. I'm probably not going to pull the trigger because I need your guys' help in the comments. I think I kind of asked something about this last episode, so I'll be watching the comments on that to see if you've already answered my questions. But this is a perfect example of like, if the hours on this don't really matter much, I would love to take a nearly 79% deal, a 69% deal on this. But this stuff has way, way lower hours. So in terms of like hours, these are less used, and so maybe that's a better thing. I really don't know. We will just keep that in our mind. We'll take your input and we will contemplate it in the future should something arrive. I'm going to move forward to January so we can sell our crop. I'll see y'all then. All right, listen up. We got a few things. First of all, I'm tempted to get this little forklift because it's only $17,500. 66% off, only 25 hours on it. And we have the greenhouse and we have other, various things that pallet forks are always very useful for. These forklifts in the past, I don't know about this one in particular, but they're usually very useful. Very maneuverable, nice and small. I don't know. Definitely something I'm going to think about for a second. But we're going to need one of these, just not that big, because it is time to sell our crop. We're going to go with just a nice cheap little wagon. Actually, I think all of our stuff is for the train. We don't need a wagon. Let's just run over here to the co-op and chat with these boys real quick. So we've got about $60,000 worth of stuff in here. We're going to sell shy of that just a little ways, but we need to borrow the train to do so. Excuse me. I need you're not a train. I'm looking for a train. Have you seen Train? I called him, but he doesn't seem to pick up. Excuse me. Choo-choo. I need to make some money because I only have $419,000 in the bank. We're closing in on our $500,000 minimum that I wanted to sit at. Good to see. The sooner this train gets here, the sooner I can make a little money. I'm trying to sell it before both of these are dropping, and I'm trying to sell it before I drop too much more. But when a fellow waits on a train, a fellow waits on a train, I guess. My train is 2.9 kilometers. Well, how about we make it 0 kilometers, boys? I got money to make. It's getting closer. 2.6. You're not a train. Bark, bark. Get out of here. The train coming backwards. That's wild, dude. Yo, what up, Mr. Train? How you doing? About time you show up. Do I need to pull forward or back up? I don't quite understand, friend. All right, let's see what we can load up here. We got 65,000 of that, and we've got 36,000. Let's do the beetroot. It was a higher price than it should be, so I want to get that sold. Wow, this is going to be crazy. I filled the cart over 50%. I've never done that before. Let's get this next cart right here, the one in front, done. If I can, I should be able to open the covers and fill. Yep, okay. And we're going to put the corn in there. And we send this train off and make all money. Go give me my money. $56,000. Very cool to see that. 477,000 now. Closing in on my 500K minimum. Take a look at any of this equipment. See if it's useful. That's too much horsepower. I'm contemplating that, but we just don't need one yet, so I'm not going to. All right. I don't think we have much more to do. Our grass is growing, so I'm glad to see that, but we're going to have to hit it with some fertilizer and some other care here once we're out of winter. But I'll go ahead and move us forward into some springtime, and we'll get right on to work. And my friends, there you have it, March 1st. It is officially the time of the year where we can start getting to work again, or at least I feel comfortable. What if I told you I want to spend $150,000? You gonna let me do it, or? The reason I bring it up is all of our grass that we had planted is ready to be harvested. We do also need to go over it with potentially some lime, it looks like, and maybe also a little more fertilizer. But we still need to get it harvested at the very least. That means I need to get all the equipment we're going to be needing to do our harvest, which, as you can see, we don't really have. I came in here earlier and we don't have anything for sale, so we're going to have to buy brand new, which I prefer anyways, and we'll see what we have here at least. So we could do this one, 110 horsepower, 13 mile an hour, 3.4 meter, or we could do this one, 95 horsepower, 3.5 meter, and 13 horse. It really doesn't matter. This is technically the biggest one, so it's probably the one I would like to use, but we could use this. I'm not going to do this one because it has the European markings on it, so we're going to try and go for this one. But I have to double check. We do have the front ready for it. Fantastic. After that, we are going to skip the tedder. We're going to skip the windrow. We're going to go right to balers, and we're probably going to pick up a Massey Ferguson baler and wrapper all in one unit, $84,500. Of course, we could do square bales or some other option, but I'm not looking to do any of that. And the last thing that we're going to buy in our $150,000 investment is going to be an automatic bale loader. This is going to be really, really useful, and probably going to be in place of a front loader for a while because I just don't feel like putting one on the tractor yet. We got $509,000 right now with about $200,000 in debt. I'm thinking about putting $100,000 of what we're going to get on debt, making this $300,000, and we'll pay for $50,000 of our equipment out of our own pocket. We're going to do it, and hopefully my next goal is going to be paying that all off. We'll see what we're at the end of the year. We should be able to get a good bit of that paid off. Maybe not all of it, but a good chunk. So there we go. Upped it to $300,000. We got $600,000 in the bank. Let's drive over to the store and buy us some new toys so we can get right out in the field and get to making some money. Oh, by the way, I need to fix my tractor when I'm at the store, so good thing we're heading over there anyways. All right, now that our repairs have been made to our lovely tractor, let's get the rest of our tools. So we're going to go ahead and get the mower. It's going to be this front mount mower. I want to get a baler, so we're going to do the Massey instead. The last thing we're going to buy that we did not have bought last time, we leased a bunch, is the trailer. I'm going to go ahead and just buy that right away. So we got all the useful things. We can get right to work now. We've got a one-unit system, more or less. I could put another tractor on that to try and speed things up even more, but I'm not gonna. I just don't want to. This tractor already kind of costs us enough to keep repairing, and I don't feel like making another tractor go through that too. So I'm gonna hook up to our mower, get right across there, and get right to work mowing our grass field. We get all this mowed, we can move on to fertilizing and putting lime down on the field as it needed some. And I'll also be able to hire a worker doing some contracts while we're working on this. Get a little extra money coming in, never hurts anything. So want to make sure I'm good to go here before we get fully out there. I'm going to do the largest bale size I can, which is going to be 150. And I think we just really need to turn this thing on, drop it down, and go to town. What do you say? Am I too far over here to the neighbor's house? It's not going to let me do this little piece of grass. Where will you let me cut? Aha! I found my spot. We can and probably will use the GPS here today, but I'm going to freehand the very beginning. Look at this, dude. This is a familiar sight, but just a little bit new way of going about it, right? Boop. I'm going to move that out of my way. It's just mowing our backyard today, boys. That's all we're doing. And that'll take it all the way almost. Wow. So I'm just going to make sure I have enough area here to turn myself around when I need or whatever might be going on. Oh, what the heck? Oh, no, I picked up my planter or my baler or yeah. Oh, Lord. Oh, man. I had my thing set on the wrong. I thought I picked up my mower down there and I didn't. Whoopsies. Hey, it's new equipment, right? I can use that excuse still. All right, now the baler is working. There we go. And you know what? Let me also fix what I messed up right here anyways, huh? Yeah, opportunity to clean a little mistake. All right, first bale popping out. I'm really excited. This top side here is actually kind of flat. We could do some stuff. I don't want to get too close to the neighbors. So I've just been thinking about the farm build in the future. I do think down around that pond is probably where it's going to stay, more or less. That's what I'm aiming for, at least. We'll see what ends up happening. But now we're making our way into the actual field that we planted. That grass on the other side was the stuff that was just around the border, standard grass. This is the stuff we'll actually be able to kind of fertilize and take care of. So should be able to get good yield off of this once we get to taking care of the field. And hopefully we don't see too many more planting imperfections. You're going to see a couple here and there. Just is how it is. We can clean it up someday. Now this is the point where we're going to get to our GPS. So auto width and we'll see what happens. I don't know. Probably, I hope it took it off the mower. And we're off to the races. We've got our GPS. We're going to clear this whole bit and then we'll do that bit going the other direction if you catch my drift. But otherwise I don't have to steer anymore. I just have to go down and back and down and back. I know on our other piece of land we could earn around $100,000, $150,000 for the bales that we were producing on that piece of land, and I was kind of using that as my base for this piece here. So I estimate hopefully we were able to get the same amount of bales or more, preferably more, and that'll make this payment on the loan for this and the equipment as a whole a lot sooner if that's the case. There's a little section back there I missed. Oopsie diddly. Me causing problems. Oh, I'm not going to be able to get to it. I have to come back for it. Sorry. One of those moments where I wish my tractor would just have automatically stopped, huh? But take your bets. How many bales we going to get off this field? Is it going to be more or less than what we were getting off of our other piece from our other, our season 1? I'm thinking we'll get more, but we'll see. All right, y'all. I just stopped in to get a little early lunch here. We're going to continue back doing what we was doing with our bales. As you can see, I've got all of that finished up with a bunch of marshmallows. It's fair to say we're going to have more than our other piece of land. We've got a good piece of land here. Now, what I want to talk about while we head out and get to work is Farming Simulator 25. When I'm recording this, Giants just let us see gameplay footage for the first time of the new game that'll be released November 12th, and I am very excited with what we saw. So I actually was watching, and am still currently watching, the Farm Sim guy on YouTube, and he's going over a lot of the footage of it now, and there's so much that just looks really, really good with the new game. They've got new lighting, new volumetric fog and lighting. They got new physics. The water physics are incredibly impressive. The draw distance, the render distance from what I've seen is incredible. I mean, a lot of really good performance and graphics improvements. That's really kind of what they showcased mainly, was that there were a lot of performance, graphics, and even physics improvements. We didn't get a whole lot on like new features, but we did get confirmation that GPS, what I'm using right here and I just set up incorrectly, GPS will now be native farm sim for console players and, of course, PC players. No matter what you play on, you'll be able to use GPS in the new farming simulator, which is very, very cool. I don't know how it's going to work. Obviously, it's going to be Giants' version of GPS, but even still, I'm excited for that. We've gone through 40 bales. We've got about $449,000 in the bank account, and we're going to see how many more bales we get out of this half. Maybe another 40. Can we get 80 bales out of this all? I don't know if we could do that. That might be a little much. I bet we can get 60 or 70. But while I'm doing this field, I will continue updating you guys on my thoughts on the new farming simulator as we watch. I'm watching it right now. I'm literally just watching people go through the footage and dissect it. One of the cool things was at the animal dealer where you purchase your animals in the game. They seem to actually have the livestock in pens kind of behind the animal dealer, so you can actually see them prior to buying them. Now, what they didn't fully confirm is that those were the exact animals you were going to buy and maybe you had to load up. They said you could see them before buying them, which makes me believe that, although they could just be clever and have animals spawned there that just stay there at all times, and when you buy animals, it still works the same way it always has. So, I don't know. We'll see what happens. But from what I've seen and the consensus that the chat and the Farm Sim guy have gotten to here, a lot of these improvements have come from dropping the old gen consoles. You have to have a new gen console like a PlayStation 5 or Xbox S or S, and you're gonna need either well, if you have a PC, you're probably gonna be fine. But it looks really, really good. There's God rays in the sun, so you can see like actual kind of the fog and the volumetric sun rays coming down. Those are very, very useful, especially if you want things to look very cinematic. For those of you who don't know, I actually have a bachelor's degree in film production, and during that time specialized in cinematography, so how to make something look visually beautiful and appealing on a camera. And I gotta say, the new farming simulator with the lighting improvements is a huge, huge upgrade. I am very happy with this. You know, at first glance, the new farm sim looks like FS 22.5 or maybe even FS 19.75, and that's kind of sort of true, but there are a lot of substantial improvements that I'm seeing. I'm really excited for that. My biggest questions really just come down to performance at this point. The new features are fantastic, and I love what I've seen, and they look amazing. Now I'm curious about performance, because if I'm going to be honest with you guys, Farming Simulator 22 was a major step down in terms of performance compared to 19 in previous versions of Farming Simulator. 22 was a very unstable game that you would have save games, even basic save games that had no mods, they would corrupt very quickly. I don't know what was so finicky about it, but this is an issue that I had experienced for a very long time into Farming Simulator, and even close friends of mine had experienced to the point where they no longer would play Farming Simulator 22. They actually went back to playing Farm Sim 19. By the way, a lot of you guys asked me what happened to one of my particular friends. Well, there's your answer. They went back to 19. But I gotta be honest, 25 does look like a lot of improvements. The new HUD, very similar from what I'm seeing in 22. Very, very similar. Some adjustments. The colors, of course, are all changed, but you have your fill types are now above your speedometer on the right-hand side there. The fuel and service are next to each other, kind of where the fuel service is now. Just put the fuel like where the GPS and shifter icon is. And then what else? That's mostly it. I'm at the bottom. They have a deal for GPS because that's base game. But in the very top, it's the same. Everything looks the same. We have money, we have weather, date, and then like another weather symbol. One thing that we did not see in this little preview is the weather effects, like negative weather, or you know what I'm trying to say, like bad weather thing, you know, rain, storms, hail, whatever, snow. I really wanted to see what those improved weather effects were going to be like, how they might affect our fields, because now we have crops that allow for flooding in Farm Sim 25. We have the mechanic to then flood fields. We've improved water physics. So it is fair to assume that if fields can flood, then even fields that are not intended to flood could flood because the system is in place within the game engine, right? In other words, can we actually have a lot of rain that floods a field, and will that negatively affect our crop? That's something I really, really want to see in Farm Sim. If they add that, this game is a huge improvement over 22. By the time you're seeing this video, I hope my top 25 wishes for Farm Sim 25 has released. It might not have, so keep an eye out for that just in case. But you will know that getting that weather to be better is one of my big wishes. Yeah, I don't know what else. I'm gonna just finish up this field. If I have any more thoughts on Farm Sim 25, I will let y'all know. But I'm excited. I'm excited from what I've seen. I was a little skeptic at the very beginning, gonna be honest. But the more I see, the more excited I get for the game. I think that there's gonna be a lot of good improvements from what I've already just seen in the very early stages of, promoting the new game. It's already a lot of really good improvements that I'm happy to see. Oh, so here's an interesting one. They had some footage of a vehicle, like kind of driver's side hood mounted, okay? A camera, driver's side hood mounted on a vehicle going down a highway. And you can see like a marina or boat docks on the left. You go over a water spill, or a culvert overpass for that. The highways look really, really good. The lighting looks great. The sky looks very similar, actually, to what it looks like now. Very similar. But it does look pretty good. It looks really good. The trees look great. It sounds great, whatever they're driving. I'm curious what is being driven. It's a red vehicle. There's 2 hood vents in the very front. It sounds like it is pretty beefy. I want to venture a guess that this is at least a truck, maybe a pickup truck. Is this going to be a branded truck? Did they just kind of try to hint this at us a little? What branded truck would have 2 hood scoops in the front like that? I don't know. Maybe it's nothing. Maybe it's something completely different. But it's in the game because this is gameplay footage. So I've got a question. I don't have the answer, but if you have any ideas, let me know in the comments down below. Ooh, so Farm Sim Guy right now is on to something. He's watching footage of them harvest inside of a New Holland combine. On the screens, it says placeholder footage. It's like just a temporary image thing, right? And like your monitors for your combine. And he's wondering if maybe they're like just not showing that, if they're just covering it up. Do we have custom monitors in cabin like I've been asking for? Do we, dude? Farm Sim, don't tease me. Don't you tease me, Farm Sim. If you tease me with a good time and then don't deliver, I'm gonna be upset. At the very least, give me a direct connect to the multiplayer. That would be a huge help, and I would probably be very happy with that alone. But yeah, there might just be. I almost wonder if that's the case, or if maybe they just haven't made the design of whatever they're going to put there. I hope that that's not the case, okay? I hope that they're withholding it because it's a new feature that they didn't want to quite let us know about yet. We'll see. I wonder while we're working if we can do... There's no contracts? What are you doing? Somebody out here stealing my job. They took our jobs. Darn, AI. AI took our jobs in Farm Sim before they took our jobs in real life. We were the canary in the coal mine, and we said nothing, boys. All right, I'm going to close out the discussion of Farm Sim 25, and we're going to just continue on business as normal with this. The Farm Sim guy on YouTube just said that the improvement from 22 to 25 is leaps and bounds better than the improvement from 19 to 22. And that's about the best way to put it. Really, if you took 19, remember when 22 came out, okay? Think about it 3 years ago. 22 is coming out. Remember what you were thinking about 19 to 22. 22 to 25, from what I've seen so far, actually does look a lot better, at least in terms of improvements from one version of the game to the other. So I applaud Giants for that. I look forward to hearing more. And I'm gonna lose my sanity. The crow's leaving me. No, my last brain cell. All right, time to do all this grass and lose my mind, I guess. Well, I just got hit by a train, so I think that's my sign to go eat. We got a lot done. We're almost halfway, maybe so. I don't know. I just got hit by a train, so, but you know, sometimes you just got to walk away from what you were doing, and that's kind of a sign. So we're still out here getting bales. How many do we have? We're up to 61 so far, and we have all of that yet to mow. Ooh, boy. A lot of bales out here, fellas. Good thing we got that bale moving trailer. That'll make life a lot easier, won't it? I need to build a barn. Aww. Where do we build? I'm going to think about that while I go eat.